I'm not saying Aquarians are murderers, but they are cool and can be emotionless when they need to. Your girls are back to talk about the boys. That's right, we're breaking down the astrology of the boys. It's time for In the Stars with What's Your Sign?
Look, you're watching a YouTube video, so you know the drill. Like, subscribe, comment, tell us which Amazon Prime shows you want us to astrologically cover.
All right, let's start with Hughie. Baby Hughie.
I'm not. Do you know who my favorite musician is? James Taylor. Number 2, Simon and Garfunkel. Number 3, Billy Joel. Any of those guys, they don't infiltrate.
Sweet and tender on the outside, but he's got an edge. Okay. Everybody really infantilizes him. They call him baby. They call him petite. His dad is always like, you're not a fighter. You're so weak. I'm going Cancer rising because of how the world perceives him, but you can tell there's definitely an edge under there. He's got a lot of wannabe, contrarian, punky energy, and anyone who wears that many band shirts can only be one sign, and it's an Aquarius. I'm obsessed with all of the boys having 8th house stuff going on because they all have these kind of like vengeance, debt to settle sort of thing, and having that Cancer rising would put that Aquarius sun in the 8th house, kind of hidden away, kind of feeling inaccessible, kind of resentful of him. But you can tell that it like comes out when it needs to. He is cool under pressure. He is willing to straight up kill people if necessary. I also think he's got a Libra moon because he does have this desire to be right and he cares about justice. That Libra moon would be down in his 4th house because I think he also is kind of obligatorily responsible. Like he has that interaction with his dad where he's like lived at home, but he's also been kind of dishonest about who he is this whole time. So it's like he wants to be nice, but not necessarily be vulnerable. And that's very Libra moon to me.
Okay, I'm loving the Libra moon idea. Mother's Milk tells him on the phone at the expo that he's a natural at kind of coercing, and air signs are just so good with words. So I really see that. I think Libras can really talk themselves into something by telling themselves they're doing the right thing, and we really see that with Hughie a lot. Charming, but not gregarious. He's balanced. He's even keeled, like not always, but when push comes to shove in that emotional moon place. I think that I want to go Cancer sun, Aquarius rising, because I think he's so like family and love focused, and it just reads really Venus to me. Like he seems to really care about his dad. He's so compassionate. Like he's not your average vigilante.
I love all this Cancer Aquarius stuff. I think that really checks out for Hughie. Also, this Libra moon, I'm seconding, thirding on this. He is so caught in the middle, and I think it's very Libran to sometimes just take on more than you can chew because you're striving for all of that balance. It's the scales really going, should I do this? Should I do that? And it's functioning from that place of his emotional space. I do like the Cancer energy too because he is talking about all the music he likes and all that nostalgic stuff, and he's mentioning his mom. It does seem like that's kind of a little tip off that his mom might be coming in future seasons, so that will be interesting to watch. And I like the Aquarius rising, but I'm gonna throw out a Pisces rising because his eyes look like a Pokemon. When the Pokemon start to cry, if you ever watch Pokemon, they're always like, it's like so animated, and that's what he looks like 24/7, 365. So Hughie just seems like a big watery air bear.
He looks like he needs saving. That's why he's drawn to all of these soups. I get it. But also, he's a natural killer. Like he stepped in he's clearly been repressing some stuff down. That Cancer rising wanting to be nice, that Libra moon wanting to be gentle, but he's got that. Again, I'm sticking with my 8th house Aquarius sun. He has some stuff that he needs to get out, and he's getting it out now.
I think there's air and water here, you know?
Yeah.
It's Hughie's champagne, right?
Yes.
We love Hughie. Tell us what sign you think Hughie is in the comments below.
Okay, let's go. Next, let's talk about Kimiko.
Ooh,
Mysterious.
I love Kimiko.
I love Kimiko too, and I think I'll dive right in. I love Kimiko. I get big time Mars energy from her. I think she's for sure Aries rising, but like 0 degrees. This is pure fighter. This is like the most intense Aries we can get. She is just like gets after it, but also she learns quickly, and she is kind of not unassuming. Maybe this is my like Frenchie showing here, but she doesn't seem like she's gonna be dangerous like that. And I think that is very like Aries first sign baby energy. I think, again, it might be a little on the nose, but I'm going Pisces for sun here with that Aries rising. That would put that in the 12th house. She is locked up a lot. She doesn't have that voice, and she also just loves the screen. Pisces, ruled by Neptune, rules screens, media, all of that kind of thing. I think that's like very much where she's finding a safe space there. And I just think Pisces, she doesn't speak, but she also is clearly like knows what's going on. She's clocking everything. She's able to hide away and kind of doesn't miss anything. And that's that very wise Piscean energy. Also, she can regenerate her body, which is very Piscean to me. Those fish intertwined, life and death, cycles continuing. So I'm going Pisces sun, Aries rising, Taurus moon. She doesn't speak, but she still has an attitude, and that reads as very Taurus to me.
I love that. Before we even know Kimiko's name, we only know her as the female. Just want to give a heads up to anyone watching. Please don't refer to women as females ever. But I think this female angle is also a nod to this Taurus. I think we're getting somewhere with this Taurus stuff. Taurus represents the feminine, being Venus ruled sign, but it also represents the throat. And I do think, even though Kimiko doesn't say anything, she's saying stuff. She's still so throat rolled. She has a lot that she wants to get out, and I'm excited to hopefully see one day when she breaks her silence. She loves TV. She's loyal to the soil. She loves cooking. She loves gouging people's eyes out, which isn't, maybe that's the more Marsy stuff. I do think she's Aries moon and rising, and I'm gonna double that even with her Mars. She is a fighter. I think she has that staying power of Taurus, and then that just fierce, like that real fierceness of Aries. That's like a lot of horns, a lot of horned animals, and she's just not one to mess with. And we'll get to Frenchie soon. Ship her hard with Frenchie. I mean, that's some hot stuff. We'll talk a little bit more, but if Frenchie is a Sag and she's a Taurus, back to, I love talking about quincunx signs, and it's like they're weird. It shouldn't work, but it works. And if you haven't noticed, Taurians and Sagittarians go pretty well together.
You guys know, if you've watched our other videos, and if you haven't, go watch them right now. But anytime there's something hidden or in prison, my first instinct is always to go Pisces. Pisces is a sign that rules prisons and the shadow kind of spiritual side, which I think we definitely see with Kimiko. She's able to kind of slip away unnoticed. Another Piscean trait. She fights Black Noir to defend Frenchie, and I think that is one moment that I really, really see Pisces in her, because they're such loyal defenders of their people and their families and their loved ones. The transformation aspect, obviously Pisces. I think too, I see Sagittarius here as well. I see that the idea of being abroad, anything with language, whether it's, not being able to speak or speaking a ton, I think both are very Sagittarian. And yeah, I think Sagittarius makes sense with her and Frenchie as well. She goes all the way, extreme, very Pisces, very Sagittarius to me.
Let's talk about the man of the hour. He's on everyone's tongue. He's got that je ne sais quoi. Of course, we're parlaying about Frenchie, my fave, a Sag after my own heart. I think for sure. I mean, we've said it already. This fool is a Sag. I'm going Sag Sun and Sag Rising. First of all, he works with explosive. Sagittarius is mutable fire. It's almost like too easy. They also ask him what he does, and he's like, I'm a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
What are you exactly? Chemist? Engineer? What?
I know a little about a lot of things.
And that's like a Sagittarius bumper sticker. So we've got that. He's also from a foreign place. Sagittarius rules foreign travel. Again, it's very on the nose, but when it's right, it's just right. And he also is kind of the only person who is not like kidding the world about who he is. He doesn't have any kind of secret identity. He's not able to be placed by people when they're like surveying him. And I think that speaks to that mutable fire where it's like he is himself, but he also kind of can shift in and out of things. And Sagittarius is so mutable that way. But you can tell he also has some, you know, haunted past. And so, like I said, I'm obsessed with this 8th house stuff for the boys. And I think I'm giving him a Cancer moon, which would be in the 8th house with that Sagittarius rising. He's romantic. He's also a great cook, sensitive, but he also, again, is like, has this trauma with childhood family stuff, which is very Cancer moon in the 8th to me.
I 100% agree that Frenchie is a Sagittarius sun, Sagittarius rising. I like the idea of him having the sun and rising in the same area. I think it's that authenticity that we see from Frenchie. He's not a bullshitter, but he is a jack of all trades. Like, he can do a lot of different things, which I think Sagittarian energy are kind of those chosen education stuff, things that we learn because we want to learn them. And so I really, really see that with Frenchie. Obviously, the explosives, hello, Sagittarius, explosive fire, right? Mutable fire. He you know, he's not just one thing, and I think he stretches. I feel like Sagittarian energy is that stretching, pulling the bow back before you let go. I will say I think I'm gonna go Pisces moon, just because I think he just has this understanding of the world. So, like, he gets people. Even when he tells Kimiko, like, whatever those bastards have planned for you, you don't deserve it. He knows people. He knows how people operate. I also just like the idea of him and her having the same signs, but inverted. I think that would be really cute for their kind of ship. So, love
So
it.
cute for their ship. I mean, this man won't stop talking, so of course he's a Sag. There's just, look, he's always constantly looking for connection, for meaning, for conversation. You know, a French man, Sagittarius, just, super dangerous. Love to see it. I mean, even when he first discovered Kimiko in the cage, he's like, oh yeah, let's just open this thing right up, not even knowing what was going to happen or if she was dangerous to him. Sagittarians really do learn by doing. They learn by experiencing it for themselves, sometimes for better or for worse.
He really is feelings ruled too. You know, we see this with Mother's Milk and their kind of clash all the time, where he's always like, you didn't follow the rules, but it felt like this. And there's that. Again, I cannot express how Sag this guy is too, because he's so obsessed with freedom, with letting Kimiko go, with freedom in himself. He's always quoting philosophers and things.
You know, Jean-Paul Sartre said, marriage stifles our essential male urges.
Might as well just wear 100% Sagittarius graphic t-shirt and just call it a day. Leading the Sagittarius convention.
Put it in the next season.
Yeah. Put in the next season, folks.
Yes.
100% Sag. Shipped with Kimiko.
Let's talk Mother's Milk.
Yes.
Love Mother's Milk. I love.
Keep it to yourself. I don't want to know nothing about nothing. I'm a happy man now.
We love all the characters, don't we, folks? Love Mother's Milk. I immediately noticed that he is always put together. He is always wearing some kind of uniform, not a literal uniform, but he's got a look. So I'm going Cap Rising immediately. Even when they're like underground on the run, he still is so clean and put together. I'm like, where are you getting like a trip to the barber undercover and staying so lined up? How do you do it? Cap Rising, he's a professional. He's always there to bring order and you know, strength and authority to the situation. I'm going to go Leo Sun. Again, obsessed with this 8th house idea. He is kind of the heart of this group. He isn't necessarily like soft, but he is very much a stable force, a steady force, that fixed fire. And he's got a lot of like secret playfulness, secret childlike energy. We see him when we first meet him. He's working with kids. Obviously, his own family is super important to him. We see him building that dollhouse. We get that fun ringtone. There's some secret childlike playful stuff, and that's very Leo to me. And I'm going to go Virgo Moon, because he is very... He's changing when he needs to. He's very practical. He knows what the situation calls for. He wants to be helpful, but he also is no nonsense, and that's super Virgo to me. He also is just like I don't know, he's someone reliable, and all that combination of those signs is someone who's very reliable, upfront. Again, he does have a secret identity, but it's not it's not the same as some of the other ones. So I'm going Cap Rising, Leo Sun, Virgo Moon.
I love Mother's Milk. He's a detective, right? He has like a medical background. So to me, that's just Aquarius. Like that just comes to mind right away. He calls himself literally a mother with a heart. And that's so Cancer Moon to me because mother is in his name and Cancer is the sign of the mother. So I'm going Cancer Moon, Aquarius Sun. He cares for his family a lot, that nurturing Cancer stuff, but he also has this kind of particular set of skills. He's a marksman, medical knowledge, hand-to-hand combat. He's investigative. He found the compound B with A-Train. He gets down to those small details, but he's not so attached to them. So that reads as very Aquarius to me. I'm a little undecided on the rising, so Stevie, I'll let you maybe sway me on that one.
I love all this. Hear me out. There's definitely that responsibleness. I do get big Virgo Sun energy from Mother's Milk. Like when he forgets to marinate the tilapia when he gets a call from his wife and he makes a mistake, which is a Virgo's nightmare, and he quickly comes back with like, okay, but I'll pick up tenderloins and get a nice bottle of wine. And it was like, yes, a Virgo doesn't get caught making the mistake. They're quickly going to find the solution. And that is so Mother's Milk. He's analytical. He doesn't miss a beat. I think I see what you're saying with the Cancer Moon, and also I know the mom's in there, but I think he's Cap Moon because he's so practical about it. Like when they ask him, oh, you're named Mother's Milk, and he's like, yeah, my mom picked it. It's like not emotional at all. It's like very matter of fact, like, yeah, she picked it. What's else to talk about? Even when he's telling Frenchie and they're talking about love and he's telling Frenchie he's going to die alone, he's talking about love like you just need it. It's not so much from like a feeling place, from like a you need to have a partner so your life doesn't suck. So you're not just like sitting around, I guess blowing up stuff by yourself all day. I find anytime someone feels very like like they look at everyone like they're idiots, it's very earth signy. So I'm loving a Virgo Sun, Cap Moon. Okay, rising sign, I'm gonna go with Scorpio. He's got this mystery. Yes, he's polished. Yes, he's like put together, but Scorpio is the natural detective of the zodiac. He's also a medic, which I think really goes with the taboo and like the gross stuff. Like he's not squeamish. He's not afraid of anything. He's very like, I want Mother's Milk to deliver my firstborn child. Like he's very calm under pressure and is just like, look, this is what's going to happen. This is going to tear. It's ready to go. Do you want to look or not? And I'll get this for you. So I think Virgo, Cap, and Scorpio are all those signs that are going to win, but they're not going to tell you they're winning. They're just going to do it while you're not looking.
Let's chop it up, baby. We're talking about Billy Butcher. Love the Butcher. I get big Aries energy from Billy Butcher. I think there might be a Scorpio moon or a Scorpio rising. He is kind of an undercover secret. I don't know if spy is the right word, but there is some. I kind of went back and forth. I think it's very Martian. Either way, Mars ruled, which both Aries and Scorpio are, depending on what kind of astrology you're using. But I think Aries, ultimately, he's so aggro, but he's also just like so independent. He's the leader of his group and he is really on his own mission. He is not like in it for the herodom. This is like a mission he is avenging and personally motivated, says Aries to me. He's also just like kind of a hothead, but also likable, and what you see is what you get. He's very honest and forthright, and I find that super appealing. I am married to an Aries, sue me. I also think that he's like flirty too, which is so Aries.
I agree. There is some real big Martian energy to Billy the Butcher. Billy, please butcher my butcher. This man just loves the word and Aries are not known for censoring themselves. He even calls God a to a priest in front of his face and doesn't blink.
He's got a hard-on for mass murder and giving kids cancer, and his big old answer to the existential cluster that is humanity is to nail his own bleeding son to a plank. That is a move. Come on, even you got to agree with me.
Hey, please.
We should lob a nuke at him,
Sir.
get it over and done with. You know what I'm saying?
We're sorry, sir. We apologize. My man,
All right, good talk. Think about it. I'm here all day, all right?
Billy is bold, and he's actually just one of the few humans that we really see, and Aries being the first sign, very rooted of the earth. I feel like it just feels appropriate that he's the first sign, a human, seeing what's in front of him and going after it. Now, I do think that this vengeful-iness feels scorpionic versus Aries-y, but Mars is Mars, and it's gonna fuck you up.
Look, Butcher, Mars rules knives. It's literally in his name.
All right, I'm going to be the dissenter. This man is a fixed sign if I have ever seen a fixed sign. I think he's a great representation of the Taurus-Scorpio axis. He's vengeful, but he's also a vigilante. He takes matters into his own hands, and that is a fixed sign trait to me. He thinks he's doing things for the right reason. I'm saying a Taurus. I think since they're ruled by Venus, they act on love. It's so represented to me in the way that he initially goes after Homelander in honor of his wife, Becca. And then in the end, when he takes care of her son that she had with someone else, because he knows it's the right thing to do in order to honor his dead wife. That to me is so Venus. It's so Taurus. Also, I think Butcher and I think cow, slaughter, super psycho man, meat, and Taurus. And I can say that because I'm a Taurus. I think also, like he's talking about his wife loving the Spice Girls, that kind of musical thing. Tauruses are really musical, and I can see any sort of like ear grating thing being really irritating to a Taurus. Also, there's a moment when they're in the safe space meeting and the leader of the meeting kind of says like, are you sure you don't want to share? It's a safe space. And he's like, I said I'm good. And to me, that's so fixed sign. It's so Taurus. They will not be pushed to speak. They will not be pushed to act. They will act when they want or need to. And I think there is a lot of Scorpio here, right? He's kind of mysterious. He's really good at detective work. I think Tauruses are also those things, but they are the ones that actually act on it. A scorned Scorpio writes 100 emails. A scorned Taurus sends 7 from outside of your house. At the end of the day, I think that Billy Butcher, his focus on love, his loyalty, and his trust, that's what really makes him a Taurus to me. At the end, when Homelander's trying to convince him not to take Ryan, the son, he just says, I promised. And to me, that's like the most Taurus thing you could do.
I do like that. I like this loyalty, and I think that if he's an Aries, then there is a fair amount of chance that there is Taurus in the chart too. Maybe a Taurus Venus, a Taurus Mercury. I would even go for a Taurus Moon. I do think, again, we've touched on this kind of Scorpio vengefulness. I think that it's not so much vengefulness as it is justice. And I think that whether it's Taurus or Aries, both are like the right thing. It's either Venus or Mars, but there's that like doing the right thing. Yeah.
Billy the Butcher, you Aries king, you.
All right. That's been The Boys. Sound off in the comments. Let us know what you think. Do you agree with our estimations of their signs? Except for Frenchie. Again, I will not be moved. He is a Sagittarius. Don't come at us. But sound off. Let us know what you think. Also, let us know what other Amazon shows you want to hear from. If you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe, and let us know what else you'd like to see us break down.
You can listen to our podcast, What's Your Sign? Comes out every Monday, wherever you get your podcasts. And we just talk about more astrology stuff. So if you like this, you'll like that. So find us on all the socials, all the podcast stuff. We'll see you in the stars, baby.
Whoa, oh my God. I see the
See you later. We have to try everything right.
Drink.
Hello.
This the later.
I don't care about the show. I just want a good blooper reel.
I want to learn science.
You guys are gonna make me look like I'm in the show, right? You're gonna put in the effects. Replace the green. I don't want to look like an asshole here.
Sorry.